What's going on, everyone? It's your boy Eat here. Welcome back to another Battle Spirits deck profile. Today I'm coming at you with my yellow Fabled Beast deck, with the key spirit being God Beast Benmoth. Like in my other deck profile, all my other Battle Spirit deck profiles, it's pure yellow. There's no colors from other colors in here, and no, we are not playing Burst Wall. Yes, I know that card's white, but it's not competitive, so and such. Just $23 cards, no competitive area tournaments in my area at the moment, at least none that I found. When I start finding it, then I'll start going forget the $23 card. But until then, I'm just keeping it with like as competitive you can get for a pure deck, pure color deck, with just what I can get. But yeah, the main key spirit of this entire deck is God Beast Benmoth. It's a very, very powerful Fabled Beast X rare. Down here, it's X rare. That has a 6 reduction cost at cost 8, and has this like weird text here that says, when summoning this spirit card from your hand, you may use the symbols of any spirit cards in your trash that cost 2 in addition to the symbols on your field to reduce its cost. But like in the rules explained, you cannot surpass the number up here. So at maximum, you'll have a 6 reduction cost, which means this key spirit of ours, can be played at 2 core. And then when you raise it up to its max level for only 3 core, it's very good. Very, very good. And it's level 2 and 3 effect is simple, but very effective. When this spirit attacks, your spirits that cost 2 cannot be blocked to your opponent's spirits that are level 2 or higher during this turn. It's like I said, it's straightforward, simple, yet effective. And that's why it's the key spirit of this deck. There's only one spirit card that we play that's higher than this card, but it'll be shown before this because it's the key spirit. So yeah, we're starting off with the cost. We would start off with cost, going over the spirits and cost from lowest to highest, and then we'll go on to the Nexuses, Magic, and Bursts. Usually I start here with cost 1s, but we are not playing a single cost 1 card in this entire deck because this deck revolves around a lot of cost 2s, so most of our early game is coming from cost 2s. Starting off with the Fabled Beast Flying Turtle. It's a level 2 with 1 reduction cost. When summoned, reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a Fabled Beast Spirit, add it to your hand. If not, it gets sent to the drop zone or graveyard in Battle Spirits. It's a very good card. It's one of the few cards that'll trigger the 1 summon effects by your opponent, but it's necessary because it helps dig in this deck for Fabled Beasts. And the more you can get consistency in this deck, it's great. And Fabled Beasts in general are very scarce in this game right now, at least from what's released at the moment. But, so yeah. Next up, we're playing... I wish I had a 4th copy of this, but I'm playing 3 copies of Sword Angel. This card, like the others in the other decks I've shown so far, is the one of the view cards that be played at like 0 cost via 2 other neutral cards. Very good, very effective. And it's because I drew all 3 of these in one... a couple of times you get lucky and draw all 3 of these. Very, very, very good push. Next up is 3 copies of Freezatoll. It has a level 1 and 2 effect during either attack step. Draw a card with one of your spirits that costs 2 is destroyed in battle. So you can block with something other than Freezatoll and draw a card. Help for digging into this deck to get access into your God Beast Benmoth. Since there's only 4 copies of Benmoth you can have maximum, it is like a lot of draw power to get into it, and that's how you finish off series games. Next then we are playing 1 copy of Axe Angel. It's just another generic good one, and 1 copy of Arcane Prince or Biro. You could really play 2 more copies of, one more copy of Sword Angel, 1 more copy of Freezatoll. I just don't have another one yet, and I kind of want more spirits that have a little bit more attack oomph to it, which is why I decided to go with these 2 since they're 4,000 and 5,000 at 4 core, because I can't just rely on low power spirits, because then my opponent's going to easily block all my attacks. So I need some heavy pushers at some sides, and that's why I find these 2 come up pretty often. But that's why like I said, I'm really running a heavy 2 cost count. But this is all for the 2 cost counts. This is 12 cost 2s we were playing. Again, ratio and stuff like that is up to you. I'm just showcasing you my version. On to cost 3, we are playing 3 copies of the Fabled Beast Arvanthia. It's a 3-cost with run reduction. One of the 1 and 2 has a destruction when destroyed effect. Select a spirit card that costs 2 from your trash and summon it. It's nice because you can then go like sick. Like you have Arcane Prince. Let's just say we have Arcane Prince or Burial in the drop zone. With Arvanthia, we block our opponent's spirits with this. It gets destroyed, and then you summon the Arcane Knight Prince or Burial from the drop zone that you use the core from Arvanthia, so it goes back to your reserve. Put it onto Orbiro, and then you can use Orbiro to block as well. So it's great. Since in this game there's no thing called summoning sickness or anything like that, so you can just keep. It's good because you can use the spirits right away. It's a very fast-paced game. Then we have 3 copies of Gem Beast Carbuic. It's another Fabled Beast. It's a level 3, 2 reduction, neutral card that's very generically good. Again, like I said, Fabled Beasts, there's not many of them printed. And this deck is a whole really Fabled Beast deck, which is really why we were playing a lot of Fabled Beasts, because this whole thing is like Fabled Beast deck. And then probably one of the most broken level 3 cards printed. I cannot remember what the card was, but in the show there was this yellow ox looking card that whenever it hit, it would like remove an opponent's life, you gain a life. In this card is the closest thing that came to it. It's called Hippocampo. It's a level 3 reduction Fabled Beast. That's the only card that's printed right now, released-wise, with the ability Blessed. At levels 1 and 2, Blessed says place a core from the void into your life. When this spirit's attack reduces your opponent's life. Essentially, if this card ever goes through, you're going to regain a life. It's so good not to play. Like, I know it's easy to block this card, but it'll force your opponent to block it, and the extra life can come in clutch. It's great for helping push in this deck. Again, 10 threes, really good, even number. Wouldn't change this up. I like it a lot. Onto 4 costs. We are playing 3 copies of the Fabled Beast known as Raj. So, like in their Salamangreat Raj, which is like a rabbit thing apparently in Japan. It's a level 4 cost 2 level 4 cost 2 reduction Fabled Beast that at levels 2 and 3 during your attack step refresh this spirit when one of your other spirits that cost 2 is blocked. So you go Raj. If it doesn't get destroyed, attack with a 2. Restand Raj, attack again. It can be aggressive. But that's why we're only playing 3 copies of it. Otherwise, you're just in here for another generic level 4. Next off, we're playing 3 copies of the Fabled Beast card known as Gale Yale. It's a neutral card. I like this card a lot because at 2 reduction, you can have a 6,000 pusher spirit, which is just nice for yellow since it's very pressury if you can get this card deck steam rolling. 6 cost 4s. Onto the... We would go into cost 5, but there's no cost 5 in this entire deck. Onto the key spirit that came from the Battle Spirits structure deck for yellow. And in the show, it's played by Amelia, I believe, in the Sword Eyes series. And that is called Calamity Beast Chaos Pegasaurus. I like Pegasus as my shoe. It's a very good shoe, but this is not a shoe. This is a horse. And I like the horses as well. It's a level 6 cost with 3 reduction Fabled Beast X Rare that has the levels effect at 2 and 3. During your attack step, all your spirits that cost 2 gain 2,000 BP. And at level 3, when this spirit attacks, select 2 your spirits that cost 2 and refresh them. So if they're not destroyed when blocked, you go attack with level 2s, and then you can swing with this, refresh everything. Doesn't come up all the time, but otherwise it's a level 3 that you can put on the board for 600. It's pretty good. You gotta admit. onto the card that is probably the most expensive card that I've seen so far printed for Battle Spirits at a without any reduction cost. This card is called Phantom Beast Kingling. It's a 9 cost with 6 reduction. So it still takes 3/4 to put on the field. So it's got to be good. I wish this card was in an X-Rare form, but it's not. And even so, it's for summoning cost is ridiculous. It's when summon, select one of your opponent's spirits for each of your Fabled Beast Spirits that you control. They are treated as level 1 this turn, so at their lowest level. There's no way that, like, this card comboed off with the Hippocampo definitely will make through some of the boards. And then it's level 3 effect. When this spirit attacks, if you control 3 or more spirits that cost 2, this spirit cannot be blocked by spirits with any effect listed. It's a guaranteed finisher if you have 3 off, and like your opponent can't, you can't blake over any of your opponent's board. This card can come up some crazy times. Like, I regret never having this card in my hand sometimes, and that's like, but it's too cost heavy not to like to play more copies of it in, because you just like hardly ever get this out. But when you need it, you're gonna miss it if you don't have it at all. And then, of course, the main key spirit of the entire deck is the 4 copies of God Beast Benmoth. I already explained this guy's effect, but I'm just telling you I play 4 copies of it. And that's going to round off the spirits that we play in this deck onto the Nexuses and other stuff. We are playing 4 copies of Phantasmal Paradise. It's a Nexus designed for Fabled Spirits in this for this deck. And it says the level 1 and 2 passive effect when during your main step, when you summon a Fabled Beast Spirit, you may exhaust this Nexus to draw a card. It's one of the few Nexuses that have to exhaust to do it. So when you just like a spirit, you rest it whenever you summon a Fabled Beast and you can draw a card. And if you have more than 1 copy of this on the field, you can do the whole, like, both of their effects at the same time. And yes, it does stack. So you can draw like 4 cards off of 1 Fabled Beast. And you can choose to do or not do the effect. So it's not like you're forced to draw a card, so you will never deck out. You just have to play smart. On to the other Nexus, we are playing 2 copies of Blessed Cathedral. I have 1 rare and 1 not rare, I know, but I just pulled this one. I was lucky. Blessed Cathedral, it has during either attack step, place a core from the void into your reserve when one of your yellow spirits is destroyed. Very good for core boost. It's one of the best ways I can think of to get into the level 9 spirit, the Phantom Beast Kingling. It's a very good card, I believe. And during either attack step, just draw a card when one of your yellow spirits is destroyed. It's very good, so if all your low-cost yellow 2 spirits get popped, Cathedral is going to replenish you out for it. That's it for the Nexus. Onto the Burst cards. We are playing 1 copy of the Burst Defension 0. It has a nice effect of when your opponent resolves or run summon effect. All your opponent's spirits are treated being level 1 this turn. Helps like push, like I was mentioning about the King Lin's one. But I only have 1 copy of Ascension 0. 1 copy of Imaginary Gate. This card came out of the structure deck. It's generic, but like okay. It has resolves, activate when your opponent resolves a 1 summon effect. Discard the top 2 cards to your deck, so you put your cost 2s in your deck from your drop zone, so it's kind of like milling. Then select up to 2 spirits cards for that cost 2 or lower from your trash, and return them to your hand. You may pay this card's flash effect to activate it, and select 1 spirit, 8 gauge, 2000 BP. You can also just use this as another main effect, like this one, to give your spirits like extra power, so that if they get blocked, you can beat over it. The other burst card we're playing in this is 2 copies of the burst card known as Puppet Strings. It has an interesting effect. It says, burst when your opponent destroys your spirit. Select 1 of your yellow spirits and refresh it, and you may pay this card's flash effect, cost to activate its flash effect, and then just another give 3,000. So instead of giving 2,000, you can give 3,000. Otherwise, just another boost up card if you're not using it as a burst. And then the last card we're playing in this deck is the Magic 4 copies of Royal Potion. This is a very, very powerful card. Being able to like attack with any of your exhaust, like refreshing all your spirits that cost 2, even during the middle of the attack step, is crazy. Like, it's so good not to play. I know we only have 12 level 2s in this deck, but I had to like balance it out ratio wise. Like you guys could cut down like some of the Gale, like do like two. Really, you could cut down like some of the cards like are extras up and play more level 2s. But I just think that you just don't want to overstack your much stuff on all level 2s, because then you're not gonna have like enough late game cards, and all your spirits are gonna get blocked mad easy. But yeah, this has been my yellow God Beast Benmoth Fabled Beast deck with around this card. I hope you guys enjoyed this Battle Spirits deck profile, and stay tuned for some games between me and my brother that may come up, showcasing some of these decks in action versus each other. Alright, this is your boy signing out. Peace.